It's about that time of day again here, boys and girls. Welcome back, welcome back. Newsletter time. JJ here. SchoolOfTrade.com. SidewaysMarkets.com is our blog address. Happy Reaction Monday to all you boys and girls out there in the interwebs. Welcome back to our nightly newsletter. Today is December 8th. I cannot believe we're in the second week already of the month of December. December 8th, 2014. Today was Reaction Monday, the Monday following non-farm payrolls. And boy, another exciting session in our trade room. You know, crude was exciting, but it was pretty much exactly what we had bargained for, right? I mean, this is pretty much what we expected from crude. I mean, they gave us $60 a barrel last week. They told us, right? Well, what did they expect to have happen? Something tells me, though, the Saudi oil minister did not think we were going to put it at 60 before Wednesday the following week. I'll tell you that much. So obviously, big profit on the way down to our targets today on crude oil. We talked about that last week. Boy, I'll tell you, though, that gold and the Russell, they are still a little bit slopped up right now, trying to figure out what way is which way down. And boy, we'll talk about that in a moment. Before we jump into charts, though, got a lot to talk about here. We got a busy week and a lot of opportunities here with these ranges on gold and Russell. Before I jump into charts, though, I want to make sure you guys remember, make sure you're watching this video on our trading blog over here at SidewaysMarkets.com. If you're watching the video on our YouTube page, that's great, but I got some reasons here. If you're watching the video on our YouTube page, there's a link right below the video, and that'll take you over to our blog. On the blog, three things here. First of all, download all of my charts. All the charts you see me using tonight will be available for download so that you can use them whenever you need them. Second thing, upper left-hand corner. I get a special free pass for you to come out and test drive our live trade room, see what it feels like to be a student in our trade room. I'll teach you guys how we actually profit from these levels we give you guys every night on our newsletter. And then the third thing here, we have a mailing list for our newsletter. I would love to send you an email every evening around 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right before I send out the newsletter. That way you never miss another report. All right, guys, three things here on the blog. Download those charts right below tonight's video. That's pretty generous of me, right? Yeah, absolutely. Free pass, upper left-hand corner. Definitely grab your free pass. Come out and see me in the trade room tomorrow. And last but not least, don't forget, register for our nightly newsletter mailing list. That way you're on the ball every evening and you never have to miss another newsletter. All right, seatbelts on. That's right, helmets fastened, seatbelts, helmets. I think it's helmets on, seatbelts fastened. Anyways, stick to your day job here, JJ. Let's jump into gold. That funny yellow metal, boy, it is acting funny right now. And a little bird told me a few weeks ago that this 1200 was probably going to be a pain in our you-know-where, and that is exactly what's going on right now. Now, if you're trying to trade breakouts of this area, if you're trying to trade away from the 1200, you're wasting your time, right? So if you're trading it the right way, what you're doing is you're waiting for price to go up and selling it back 1200. Making it go down, buying it back 1200, okay? So that's our strategy right now on the gold. Okay, 1200 is the magnet. That's the target. Until something fundamentally changes here, that 1200 becomes our magnet until we can't see this level on our charts anymore. Okay? So, we got gold trading sideways right now, slopped up around that 1200 big round number, and we're going to continue to follow that plan we've been following here for the past few weeks on gold. Looking to sell the range highs, looking to buy these range lows. They're very easy to see where they are. The hard part right now is staying patient. If you're a longer term trader on gold, wait to buy the lows. Wait to sell the highs. Stay the heck away from 1200. Stay the heck away from the middle of this range. Again, for all you long-term traders on gold right now, you've got great sell zones overhead, 1241.8 to 1229.2. I'd definitely be selling those areas overhead as a long-term seller. As a buyer here on gold, I've got 49.6 down to 40.5, and of course, those range lows. Let's look a little bit closer because I think that we've got a range right about here too, right? Something tells me that's going to be a range inside the range, right? Let's look forward here now. So here's that Here's that range inside the range now, but it doesn't look as sideways on this chart as it did on the 32. As you can see right here, we do have indeed a bearish tone to this. Lower highs, lower lows, right? The magic of the charts here. We draw in a bear channel. Nothing really special there, but you'll notice we just came in off these highs. So I would definitely be on the sell side right now on gold, and your targets, as you can guess, will be at 1200, 1191.3, 1189, and I've got some targets waiting for you down bottom here, 77.8 and 1168 even. Okay, so looking to the bear side here right now on gold, be ready to sell that baby, and again, that target down there around 1191.3. If we do happen to go higher here before we go lower, I will definitely be taking a swat at this again, right up at those highs. Again, same thing we just talked about on the prior chart. Our job on gold right now is not to think too much. Wait for price to go up above 1200, sell it back down to it. Wait for price to go down to those lows, buy the lows of the range. But again, those range lows aren't going to be for a while here on this gold, right? So looking short here on the gold in the short term here. Overall, though, we're very, very sideways. Now, here is a really great clue here on the price action chart. Now, you can see the buyers pretty much had their way with these, with the sellers today, right? Channel up right at the open, consolidation. I'm going to leave that consolidation range right on there. We break up, retest the highs, 1, 2, consolidation, and we should return right back where we came from. So literally, like I said, we are definitely looking bearish here right now on the gold, and I have a target at the high here at 1196, 1197 we'll call that, a target towards the lows at 1193, and then all the way down at 1187.3. So target at the high, target at the low, and target all the way back to where we started the party on basically Sunday evening. All right, guys, looking short here on the gold. And again, don't forget that 1200 big round number becomes the magnet, so don't forget about it. Let's keep moving. Onward and upward we go from the funny yellow metal to that mighty mini Russell. Boy, I'll tell you, this Russell's not too mighty the month of December and pretty much the entire month of November as well, right? I mean, we've been trading sideways here since about halfway through November. Now, there's nothing wrong with a sideways market, but you must trade it accordingly. Now, if you followed my newsletter from last Thursday evening, we don't do them on Fridays, right? Nothing happened in the evenings there. So if you followed my newsletter last Thursday evening, you actually got the short right off that high. I'm going to show you that on the next chart, or you can go back and just watch last Thursday's newsletter. So here we are. It's very, very clear what's happened, right? We were bullish, we're bullish, we're bullish, and then all of a sudden, midway through November, we start going sideways. And then just recently, we found a lower high and a higher low. And so now we know Russell is trading sideways. And really what I should do is trading sideways and short-term consolidation. Okay, so with that short-term consolidation, it's pretty much the same way you're going to trade it, except we're going to use some specific levels when we find a consolidated range like this, right? We're going to use some specific levels when we see these consolidated ranges. So the mini Russell right now, buy those lows, sell those highs, stay away from the middle, and what we'll do next is we're going to zoom in on this area right here, right? So let's zoom in closer on that area right there. That's where we're going to be able to find our short-term trading opportunities here. So here's that sideways range we just talked about. Okay, very easy to see this. Got the sideways range, that's easy to find. I've got my range lows to be a buyer. I have my range highs to be a seller. And again, if you took my advice from last week's newsletter and you stayed patient, you had a great sell. I mean, look at that short off of that 1186.4. So just a beauty of a sell. So Russell trades sideways. The easy money right now is selling at the highs and taking your profit at the lows. Buying at the lows, taking your profit at the highs. Now, if you're short off that sell zone overhead that I gave you guys last Thursday night, just a little bit of a heads up, right? Told it to you on Thursday night. You had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then this did not trigger until what? About midway through the Monday morning session. So literally you had 4 days to be ready for that sell. No excuses there. No excuses there. I went in and added one more on here, 1183.5, 1186.1. So there's one more level up top now. So now we have basically 1, 2, 3 ranges here we're looking to sell the highs with. And then if you're short off those highs, don't you think about touching this baby until you get down to those lows, right? Hold on tight. Hold on tight. I would definitely be taking some profit around 1160, right? 1159 is the high of that little range there. So 1159, add a couple ticks to it, 1160. So 1160 becomes a great target here for you sellers off the highs on the Russell. Okay, next up here, we'll be looking for a buy off those lows, right? Looking for a chance to buy off those lows and right back up and then right back down. And, well, you know how the story goes, right? So we're going to buy these lows, sell these highs. Okay, same thing we talked about last week. Not a lot has changed. Now we're just going to update these levels and update our range highs and lows as the rest of the week develops. Okay, stay away from the middle, buy those lows, sell those highs on the Russell. Now, quite interesting here, okay, Russell price action. Buyers grabbed it early, right, all the way over here. You see a lot happened today on that Russell. Volume is pretty good, right? So buyers grabbed it early. 1, 2, consolidation, right? I leave that right on the chart, okay, so that level will be there to use as a target. Okay, then we collapse. Now remember, up here, that was where you got the sell, right? Up at those highs, that was the sell that we gave you last week. So if you're a student of mine, your price action strategy, your scalping strategy lined up perfectly with that sell zone overhead. I mean, you can see the measured move up to the highs. I mean, it's perfect, right? It's perfect. So that's why this big reversal was so easy to see, right? So what happens next? We come down, right? We break 1, 2 into consolidation. Again, we'll leave that consolidated range right on there now. And what's our plan from here? Well, once we get that second leg down now we have our chance here to go use this consolidation range. And if you're a member of mine, we know that from here we want to see that breakout, pull back, right, and up. I've got targets overhead 1174, targets 1183, and then again all the way back up to that consolidation high overhead. Or I would definitely be keeping an eye out if you're a bear right now on this, right? We talked about this earlier. You're short off those highs. Be looking for a bull trap, right? Be looking for the buyers to try to nibble on that thing going higher. If those buyers fail, right, grab that baby short, and we're down to that prior week low at 51.9. Or we don't get a bull trap, we break to the downside, right, and you get your breakout retracement on the way down to that target, again, 51.9 on the Russell. So everything here really looks nice and clean and tidy here on the price action chart. All we need next is to get out of this consolidation area. If we stay in the consolidation, buy lows, sell highs. If we break out of the consolidation, look for traps and look for those pullbacks, right, after the breakout. If you're a member of mine, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, it's our breakout strategy. All right. If you're not a member of mine, well, now I'm starting to worry about you. What's going on? Why aren't you a member of mine yet, right? There's no need to do this on your own. I'll tell you exactly what you've got to be doing to make money with this stuff. It ain't rocket science. It is the day trade. Now, shall we? Mr. Crude. Or should I say, where are all my friends in Saudi Arabia right now? And the reason why I keep mentioning our friends in Saudi Arabia is because they've been the ones, right? The Saudi oil minister has been, I don't want to say the word arrogant, but okay, arrogant in the way that they've just blatantly come out and said, here's our strategy. We're going to knock all the weak hands out of the market, and we're okay. And they literally came out 3 times last week. 3 times last week, and said, we are perfectly comfortable with $60 a barrel. So why not put a big target on that chart, right? I mean, come on. So $60 a barrel, that's my Saudi target. Okay, we know where we're going, The question is, how do I get into those trades with the least amount of risk and the most amount of reward? It's quite simple. I'm waiting as I go lower, right? We make a new lower low, and here's where we got to be careful, right? Get that big overextension. If you draw the channel out, you'll even see we even overshot that channel, which means the next short going lower is probably going to be a failure. It's really tough to tell right now because there are some definite fundamentals out there that aren't usually here right now, right? i.e. with the projection of $60 a barrel, everyone and their sister-in-law right now is trying to sell this thing. So I would imagine a little bit of that self-fulfilling prophecy will probably get that $60 hit a lot faster than they were thinking they were. Okay? I don't think they care how fast it goes to $60. But I'm telling you right now, I can't wait to see what happens when we get to $60 a barrel. It will happen here. I was thinking it wouldn't be till middle of next month, but it looks like it could be before inventories come out on Wednesday. It's going to be craziness. Anyways, got my range. As I go lower, I've got sells here at 63.72. I have another sell here at 65.90. Another sell at 67.98. Now, this is my 32 anchor. So, this is going to be long-term sellers, right? This is not going to be your scalping areas here. These are the folks that are looking for a little bit bigger move, right? A little bit more risk, but a whole lot more reward. Okay, so look for those sell zones overhead. Again, I got my reversal line sell, trigger zone number 2 sell. And I don't think we get here, but hey, this is crude we're talking about. We'll sell the range highs up there around $70 a barrel as well. Okay, very, very easy here right now on crude. The hardest part on the black gold right now is just staying darn patient. That's the hardest part. So here we go now. Cut that anchor chart in half. Here's my 16. Okay. We know what we're trending right now. We know our trend is down. That's very easy to spot. The next thing here, though, is going to be getting in. That's the hardest part. We got this big overshoot today, this dramatic little drop. Well, little drop would be an understatement. And again, we're going to stay patient. I've got 63.80. I've got 64.40. And we got some 65.62 before we get back up to the top of that range here at 64.50 area. Take your pick. Right, take your pick. I'll take a nibble here at 63.80, another nibble at 64.40. I don't want to say bet the farm on this, but okay, bet the farm, right? I would definitely be looking to sell that 65, 62 to 66 even area just because it's up near the highs of that channel, right? So the way that I see this is that we had this nice, easy channel, and then we just fell apart. See, when I look at this, I call this a channel overshoot. And specifically, the way that I look at this is that when we have a channel overshoot, it's just like that irrational behavior of a crowd of people in a movie theater and somebody walks in and says, fire, right? What's going to happen? Oh, fire, smoke, nobody sees it. They just panic. That's what it feels like that's the way that I see this chart right now. Now, usually what happens when we have that panic, remember, human beings are consistently unpredictable, right, when things happen out of the ordinary, okay? So we know this is kind of a little bit of a panic sell right here. So I assume that it can't be that easy. It can't be as easy as just going up to 63.80 and oops-a-daisy, I'm selling short again. I'm going to look for it there. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to look for a nibble to the downside here at 63.80. But I'm just saying, guys, these markets aren't that easy. They're not going to give it to us on a silver platter like that. So there I'm thinking, okay, let's discount this area here at 63.80. Let's see. I could possibly get the low end of that channel, right? That would be nice, right? Up into that low end of that channel, okay, 64.40. Up into the high of that channel, right? These are all great areas here to be looking for. Again, these are not scalp areas here. These are areas where I'm going to be looking for price to get up into this area, and then once it starts coming down, I'm going short, because I know it should be easy to get right back to that $62 a barrel where we are right now. All right? Now, we had pretty much, again, just as we bargained for today on the crude oil. I mean, when we stroked this thing today in the trade room, this was one of those days where we knew exactly what the scenario was The minute we saw the market open and it was straight down all day, right? We took a nibble short here, I nibbled short there, took a little more right here. I think we added to our position right, where's that? Nope. Yeah, right there. It was relatively, I don't want to say easy. I mean, if you know what you're doing, it's easy. But, for somebody who's trying to just follow this trend right now, the hardest part right now is simply staying patient and not letting the emotions trade for you because we think we know where it's going. We can't predict. We can only react to the patterns we get. So I drew this a little bit differently this morning in the room. This morning in the room, I had my levels going a little bit more aggressively. But if you look at it, though, it's pretty much just a channel here, right? We got our 1, we got our 2, and then we go into consolidation. Now, again, this is where what normally happens, here's the deal. What normally will happen 99.9% of the time is that we're going to go higher. Now remember, if you're a member of mine, don't forget, this is a consolidation range now. So treat this range like the consolidation it is, which means I'm not going to buy the first high. I'm not going to sell the first low, right? I'll wait for it to go up, pull back, and then we go. Go down, retrace, and then we go. So remember, guys, if you're a student of mine, you know exactly what we're looking at right now when we have a consolidated area. I want to stay away from buying that high, stay away from selling that low, look for traps. Since we have a downtrend right now, I'm definitely looking for a bull trap based on the buyers to fail, okay, above that high. If we go higher, pull back to the high of the range, right, buy it on the way up, relatively simple. If we roll over and keep going lower, right, sell the retracement. I don't think I feel confident right now telling you to look for a bull trap. I just don't think we're going to get a bull trap too well. It might happen, but I just don't think you're going to have the confidence to buy a bear trap. I don't think you have the confidence to buy a bear trap right now. So if you do see a bear trap, it will end up becoming a buy with a pullback, right? I mean, it will end up becoming that break up with a pullback to get you in long, right? I'm going to buy the high of that range right there. This is our scalping strategy. It's easy stuff, right? Easy stuff. So again, crude pretty much gave us what we bargained for today. We should bounce higher, but again, we've got our buddies in Saudi Arabia right now that have given us that easy target at $60 a barrel. And since everyone and their neighbor is selling short right now, we may have a hard time rolling this thing higher here. So I'll definitely be looking to continue selling short in the long run. I've given you guys some great opportunities here to get short on these charts this evening. Let's wrap it up here with some news for mañana. Looking at the news here, starting with tonight, we have no major news on the calendar this evening. We'll run right into tomorrow morning, Tuesday, December 9th. I've got major news. Well, it's kind of major news. It's kind of, half and half here. We got merchandise trade from Germany. We got merchandise trade from France, industrial production in Great Britain. So we definitely have some news coming out in the London session tomorrow morning. That will get you London traders, Asian-based traders. That'll get you guys some action there after 3 a.m. I think the headline news tomorrow is going to be in the U.S. session is going to be the JOLTS report, the job openings, layoffs, and transfers survey. We already know my gal Janet Yellen loves this report. Okay, it's more valuable than jobless claims, and we're coming off of non-farm payrolls last week. So I'll definitely be looking for the meat and potatoes here around the JOLTS report tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And then we've got major news out of China. Now, they are really struggling in the Chinese economy right now. We saw that from the RBA 2 weeks ago, right? They mentioned it a few times. The Royal Bank of Australia, by the way, that's what RBA stands for, right? Australia supplies, of course, the manufacturing sector in China. So we know there's a lot of stuff happening out there in Asia, and that'll be a big news report for us tomorrow night. We'll talk about that more tomorrow night. Right now, though, you're looking good tomorrow morning, 2 o'clock, 2:45, 4:30 a.m. in London. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, I would assume that's your big news of the day tomorrow. Who the heck knows? Who the heck knows? We don't trade the news. We just trade around this news, right? Nothing that comes out tomorrow will change how I trade. It may change the price action we see, but I always take the same patterns, the same way, with the same trade. It's always like clockwork, right? So I'm not going to dig into that news too badly here for us. All right, guys, but excellent job today. I mean, excellent job today. Had one of the best days in our trade room this morning we've had in a long time. So awesome work. And again, it's easy right now, but just, again, don't predict, react, trade what you see, not what you think. And guys, I want to remind you here before we wrap up, don't forget, we are here to help you guys every step of the way here at SchoolOfTrade.com. You do not need to go out there and do this on your own. We open up our live trading room every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. This morning before 10 a.m., we already had 4 winning trades short on crude before 10 a.m., and we were holding on to them the rest of the morning. So very, very easy to get involved. Come out and join us tomorrow morning as a brand new student. We got a great free trial here at School of Trade. I'll give you a test drive of our trade room as part of our free trial. We've got beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels of membership, along with somebody standing by here 24/7, 365 to give you guys a hand if you need it. We are coming into the home stretch here of 2014, wishing you guys a very happy holiday season. We got 1 week till Hanukkah. We got 2 weeks till Christmas week. 3.5 weeks here till 2015. Jeez Louise, I can't believe we're saying it. Guys and gals, have a great evening. We will see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time in our live trade room. Staying short on crude, staying short on gold, and on that Russell, holding that short and looking to be a buyer at those lows. Guys, have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow. My name is Joseph. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.